Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
Inside the box can really give you an edge because so many teams have played out the scenario of what happens if our starting quarterback and the backups all test positive before a game. Some teams are actually discussing quarantining one of their quarterbacks. The first time I heard it was earlier this offseason from Bruce Arians on Chris Long's Green Light podcast, and he said he might quarantine one of his quarterbacks. Now, other coaches around the league are all starting to think about it. Certainly a lot of expectation there, guys, and it sounds like Amari Cooper thinks that Dallas has got one of the strongest wide receiver groups. So let's just dive into the NFC East here, who is challenging that group this season. Let's try to figure out who's good, who's bad, strengths, weaknesses. We'll go through all of it. So Saturday, let's just start with you on the Cowboys here. So let's go through some of their key additions, some of their key departures here, and essentially what they look like. So what do you think of them?
Listen, I think Mike McCarthy is going to be good, but I think their biggest strength is Ezekiel Elliott, right? Can we
know that the Giants made some moves, with probably the biggest departure being Eli Manning. They went 4-12. They hired Patriots assistant Joe Judge to replace Pat Shurmur. They drafted Andrew Thomas, Xavier McKinney to go along with free agent additions James Bradbury. And we mentioned the whole Eli departing after those 16 seasons. But again, another new head coach and a young quarterback here. So, Lewis, strengths and weaknesses for this New York Giants team?
Yeah, I think for strengths, it obviously starts on points in 9 different games last year. They're going to have to create a little bit more turnovers, create a little bit more confusion on the defensive side if they're able to make any headway in the NFC East for sure.
Yeah, so those 2 teams you already talked about are dealing with that idea of having a new head coach. 3 out of the 4 teams in the NFC East are dealing with that. The team that seems to have it all together, though, it's the Philadelphia Eagles in terms of their GM, head coach, and their quarterback returning this season, right? So they won the NFC East last season, reaching the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. Their notable additions include 3-time Pro Bowler Darius Slay, as well as draft picks Jalen Reagor and Jalen Hurts. And their biggest loss, of course, is safety Malcolm Jenkins, who's now with the New Orleans Saints. He started every game during that 6-year run in Philly. So, Darlington, give me the strengths and weaknesses of the Philadelphia Eagles now.
Maybe a little bit of a surprise here to say that I'm going to take my strength over to the defensive side of the ball, mostly because I always...
The East, who is going to win the division?
I'm going Dallas Cowboys. I think that this is the year for them. We'll see how far they go, but I think they will win the division.
All right, Lewis.
No way is it Dallas, Jeff. It's Philadelphia. They have the most continuity. That weakness is going to be a strength for them, provided they stay healthy. This is a Carson Wentz year, baby.
Spoken like a South
Go
Jersey
Philadelphia.
Saturday, who you got?
I'm going Cowboys. I think Kellen Moore, McCarthy get together with Dak. Zeke Elliott's going to run it through the running back. Let that offensive line bang some people around and give your defense some rest. You don't got to go throw it to all these receivers. I know they all think they're going to have 1,000 yards. Let's use that running back. I think the Cowboys get it.
All right, they didn't give me one, but I'm going Eagles, too. The Eagles won the NFC East last season, but, guys, remember, in this division, it's been a really long time since a team came back and won it again. In fact, it was the Eagles who did it back in 2003. All right, still to come, the Ravens.